On the news tonight, Ondo government procures modern equipment to combat fire outbreak in the state. Akwomlono farmers in Idori Council area alleges Akure monarch of grabbing communities' land. Bauchi state government dismisses 6 traditional rulers for partisan politics. And from the foreign scene, Spain goes to poll with far-right party on the ascendance. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbara. The Ondo State government has procured 8 state-of-the-art firefighting equipment to combat the menace of fire outbreak in the state. The state's governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu had approved the procurement of the firefighting equipment as part of his commitment to enhance the fire services capabilities in handling emergencies within the state. Each of the newly acquired firefighting trucks has a 2-row cabin with air conditioning, processes impressive 10,000-liter water and 2,000-liter foam capacities, accompanied by state-of-the-art equipment to tackle fires effectively and efficiently. The fire trucks will be deployed across the 3 senatorial districts of the state to ensure efficient coverage. Ondo State House of Assembly has called on residents to desist from indiscriminate dumping of waste on waterways. During plenary, which is the first since inauguration of the 10th Assembly, the lawmakers frowned at the rate at which every nook and cranny of the state is flooded as a result of indiscriminate dumping of refuse. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshile Oladesoye Ajayi now reports.
It was the first plenary of the lawmakers after the inauguration of the 10th Assembly on 3rd of June 2023. And the issue of indiscriminate dumping of refuse on waterways by residents and its attendant effect took the center stage during plenary, presided over by the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji. While condemning the act, some of the lawmakers called on government and other relevant stakeholders to take proactive measures on disaster prevention and rehabilitation of affected citizens.
I also want to stand here, Mr. Speaker, sir, to appreciate the promptness of intervention of Ondo State government, because on the Thursday or the following week, amphibian excavator was mobilized.
Preparation should be made as of when to make easy way out of clearing up of the drainages as a preparation to the rainy season.
We made a budget job in Lowest for phase 1 regarding the issue of flooding, and we know that the state government has plans, but the plans need to be done as soon as possible to aid the populace.
Help us to talk to the state government. We appreciate the one they've done, and they should continue to help us so that the life and the properties of our constituents is very, very important to us.
Others charged the Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project (NEWMAP) to find a lasting solution to erosion disaster, especially in the coastal communities of Ondo State.
We have been combating these issues. Part of the reasons why we have seen incursions there has to do with improper waste management, because we are on the sea. Like I said, sensitization is very, very important, and draining services has to be effective and efficient within the state.
I will implore this honorable house to call the attention of 3 ministry and agency of government to be proactive in this regard.
We can share this initiative with both the lands and also the environment. You know, they can work with this initiative. They will mitigate all these flooding, and also I think affected people should be given financial assistance.
The Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, directed the Clerk of the House to write to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and other concerned stakeholders with a view to sensitizing them on the plight of affected people and the need to come to their aid. He therefore set up a 7-man ad hoc committee on environment headed by the lawmaker representing Okitipupa Constituency 2, Ololade Gbegudu, to effectively engage stakeholders and find solution to the perennial flooding problem with a mandate to report back to the House in 7 days.
The other committee will be saddled with the responsibility of writing and inviting the relevant stakeholder so that we can be able to tell us the plan enough for the people of Sunshine State, and at the same time the committee will report back to this General House.
The Speaker equally summoned the Ministry of Environment to appear before the House on Tuesday, 25th of July 2023. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Farmers at Akpomulono in Idori local government area of Ondo State are counting their losses following the destruction of their farmlands by persons allegedly acting on the order of the Deji of Akure or Balade Tonyibo Alade Lucy. Some landowners and farmers in the area allege the Akure monarch of continuing to grab lands in the area which is clearly beyond his domain and sending them off without recourse to the owners. Osrc's Saeed Aribisala reports that the farmers who have lost plantations are calling on government to come to their plight and save them from losing their means of sustenance.
The destruction of a once green, virile vegetation is evident on this expanse of land located in Akpomulono, a community in Idori local government area of Ondo State. Fallen trees going dry all over, uprooted plants are also very visible in the area, some with fruits that were not even allowed to mature, not to talk of being harvested by the farmers. The ruins all laid before the farmers, most of whom have invested years of hard work and youthful energy to make a living from agriculture.
Tell for anybody. Àwa la máa ń lọ lára àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ wa rẹ̀ wọ́n wà níbí. Tàjọ tí wọ́n jọ ń bá wa fèsì iṣẹ́ yẹn. Àwa ọmọ anybody. A ò ta oko wa o. Wọ́n ti pẹ́ igi ọ̀bọ̀ tí wọ́n ti débi fífà ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti débẹ̀. Kán jọ kán má bá wa fa kán jọ o. Àwa ò ní kan mi irú èmi tẹ̀ wọ́n ń sìn. Mi ò lọ́kọ. Mi ò ní bàbá mọ́. Mi ò ní ìyá.
Lọ́kà bá mi Akíndé Ìjòyè bá ṣe òótọ́. Ṣé wọ́n gbọ́? Ìdán rè. Ṣàjòjì gédégédé inú bí ẹ̀ngàn bí mi sí láti gbọ́ ẹ̀mí láti ṣe kété yìí. Ìgò nígbà bá tí a bẹ́gi náà ti jọ èsì sọ́ọ̀yẹ́ ń bẹ́gi jẹ́ yìí. Akápẹ́ ńlá lẹ́nu dàn rè. Ago tó ran ọ̀pẹ̀ yìí. Àìdí àwọn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbé àkéké. Ẹ̀pọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe igi lílá. Ojú ìkàndó ká bẹ́ẹ̀ yìí kété. Náà yé ìjọba orí òbí bẹ́ẹ̀ yìí.
According to them, this destruction was brought upon them by the Deji of Akure, Obalade Tonyibo Alade Lucy, who they accused of illegal possession of land beyond his domain, selling off the land without the consent of landowners and agreement with farmers, as well as authorizing the destruction of whatever stood in the way, like their farms.
Mo dédé bá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi wọn ò jà mi ò dẹ̀ ta kan mi ò èwọ̀n tẹ̀ dọ̀dọ̀ pé wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ la kó wọ́n tẹ̀ fi là mí lọ yẹ wọ́n ní Déjì ló rán wọn ló tẹ̀ ló rán wọn níbí yìí.
Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé a ò mọ̀ lọ́n 30 of last month a wà ní oko òǹdó ṣàdédé já katakata tabẹ̀ sí táwọn bá ṣe pè wá bá ṣe jáde sí títì nìyẹn pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe layout pé kìnnà báwo ló ṣe jẹ́ wọ́n ní layout ni wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe pé wọn ò fa oko àwa ní pé kò sáàyè bọ̀ nígbà tó bá ìwádà Saturday wọ́n ṣe kó àwọn tọ́ọ̀gì àti àwọn ọmọ fídán àti àwọn ayọ̀ lága ọkùnrin kínní gbogbo wọn bọ́n ṣe wá nìyẹn pẹ̀lú tọ́ọ̀gì pẹ̀lú ìbọn bọ́n ṣe bẹ̀ sí mú gbogbo oko ibi wọn bọ́n ṣe ń fa nìyẹn.
As the farmers move through the desecrated land, they lament the emotional damage, calling on government to rescue them from the alleged land grabbers who continue to spread their tentacles across the area.
Ilẹ̀ yìí ò pé gbogbo ẹni Déjì ti tà. Mo ní ó kó bàbá ìyá tèmi lélẹ́yìí o pé Déjì ò lè àṣẹ láti tà o. wọ́n ní nǹkan tí máa fẹ́ ṣe sí ìgbà yẹn wọ́n ti máa fẹ́ gbowó kí n sọ fún wọn mo ní mi ò ní ìdòwó mo ní mi ò ta oko mi o mo ní mi ò ta èmi kọ́ ni mo lóko o ìyá mi tó bí mi náà pín oko fún so màmá dẹ̀ ti dàgbà ìyá mi ti dàgbà ó ti wà ń lé èmi ni mò ń bá wọn bójú tó.
With their livelihood and means of sustenance now thrown into the wind, these old women and farmers who exerted their youthful energy tilling the land do not know how the losses will be recouped, but they are confident that government will rise to their plight soon. Findings have however shown that the state government has waded into the matter by setting up a panel to establish who owns the land among Akure, Idori and Isikan communities, as all are laying claim to the land. Said Aribisala, Osrc News.
The challenges of cross-border activities and factors of globalization could be quite enormous across geographical regions, tending to pose a major threat to security agencies. The Ondo State Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, Prince Boyi Ologbese, said this development has spurred government at different levels to seek ways to manage their new realities. The Commissioner spoke during a council visit on the Acting Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Caroline Adepoju in Abuja. Our correspondent Kunle Ariyo reports.
The mission of Ondo State government is to deepen economic, political, social and cultural integration in order to improve the quality of life of the people. The present administration in Ondo State is doing this through its Ministry of Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations. The ministry has taken the willingness of the state government to end these challenges to different countries and organizations across the globe. The latest is the Nigeria Immigration Service. The State Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, Prince Boyi Ologbese, said government is committed to develop initiatives that prioritize citizens, facilitate legitimate travel and immigration, and uphold the rule of law. The commissioner, who sought the assistance of Immigration Service to track the statistics of indigents who had left the state, appealed for a prompt issuance of passport to its officials on assignment outside the country. Olobese said the state established the Diaspora Relations Office in 2021 to engage indigents of the state in the diaspora to promote socio-economic development in the state. According to him, the ministry is collaborating foreign missions, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NAPTIP, and international organizations on migration to achieve its mandate, one of which has resulted in the repatriation of some youths trafficked to Libya.
We are working with our diasporas who live outside the shore of Ondo State, with our diasporas. And Ondo State residing in Abuja is a diaspora. And Ondo State residing in Lagos is a diaspora. And Ondo State residing in Port Harcourt is a diaspora. So the ministry tried to coordinate these activities to facilitate economic growth. Then our Ondo State outside the shore of the country too, they are called diasporas. And we are working together to see how we can foster social economic growth for the state. And that is why we have actually come to identify with you as our own daughter, as our own sister, as our own mother.
Prince Olobese also felicitated the Acting Comptroller General on a recent appointment and commended the Nigeria Immigration Service for its role in safeguarding the nation's borders. Responding, the Acting Comptroller General, Adepoju, expressed the service's readiness to develop stronger bonds, meaningful partnership, and build a future where immigration processes are secured and efficient. She also said the Immigration Service would welcome any support to curb the menace of trafficking in persons and related crimes. The ministry's collaboration with critical stakeholders, including agencies of government, will go a long way in achieving its mandate of deepening relations and improving the socio-economic life of the people. Kunle Ariyo, Osrc News.
You are still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
Iskilu, báwo la ti fẹ́ sanwó mi? Farabalẹ̀. 1,000. We go wash plate tire o. Farabalẹ̀ now.
Madam, èló lówó wa?
Brother, na 3,005.
Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000.
10,000.
Oh yeah.
Bring your phone.
Ha! 10,000.
1,000 naira credit. Now you turn to 10,000.
No. All of us don't know about Glow Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glow Berekete 10 times rẹ.
I told you. Now what go tell?
Welcome to Buckingham Parks and Gardens, the epitome of standard and luxury living. Nestled amidst nature's beauty, this exquisite real estate development offers you of comfort, elegance, and tranquility. Convenience and accessibility are paramount at Buckingham Parks and Gardens. Children from field and recreational centers are not excluded in this world-class aesthetic estate situated at Aisu Road, Owodiede, Oshogbo in Osun State. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this extraordinary community. Contact our sales team today at Buckingham Parks and Garden. Your dream home awaits you.
Agron Homes.
Building cities, communities, and homes.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. You need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Stay in power, you find it all in Peak. Every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. And the Peak goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak protein breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Thank you very much for staying. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV. Ondo. 6 traditional rulers have been sanctioned by Bauchi state government for suspected excessive misbehavior and partisanship. Mr. Nasiru Dewu, the permanent secretary of the Bauchi State Local Government Service Commission, who made the announcement, stressed that Governor Bala Muhammad approved the dismissal of 2 district heads and 4 village chiefs from the Bauchi and Katangum Emirate councils due to confirmed allegations leveled against them. He added that the sack was recommended by the commission due to their engagement in partisan politics, misconduct, and illegal forest reserve invasion or tree fall. He directed the concerned emirate councils to appoint oversight officers pending when the panel will make substantive appointments. President Bola Tinubu has tasked Nigeria and neighboring countries in the Lake Chad region to display courage in reforming their military doctrine and change tactics to effectively fight insecurity. Tinubu noted that a change in tactics had become necessary because the countries in the region were battling a mobile and elusive irregular force that disregarded established rules of warfare. The president stated this at the graduation ceremony of Senior Course 45 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, in Kaduna State. The president pointed out that the adversaries facing countries in the sub-region were not conventional armies engaging in traditional battlefield warfare. The Nigerian leader, who encouraged African countries to work together against common threats, acknowledged the multinational effort of Nigeria, Cameroon, the Niger Republic, and Chad to bring peace to the Lake Chad region. For showing exceptional personnel in our day-to-day pursuit, Head of Operations Alalaye 96.5 FM of Osrc Media Group, Bukola Ogunkua, has been honored with the award of Personality of the Year. While reacting to the recognition by Cammed Media World in celebration of Adekunle Adewumi Kekeawada's 20 years behind the microphone held in Akure, Ondo State capital, Mrs. Ogunkua maintains the accolade is an encouragement to do more.
This
is the gathering of veteran broadcasters and upcoming ones, heads of media organizations and related industries, among others, who are here to honor Adekunle Adewumi, also known as Kekewada, on the celebration of 20 years by hand microphone. Appreciating God for his benevolent grace over the years, founder of Kekewada, Adekunle Adewumi, said the journey for the past 20 years has not been without challenges. He solicited the support and cooperation of people to impact more lives, saying Kekewada was founded to put smiles on people's faces.
I'm celebrating these 20 years behind the mic. One, to thank God, and secondly, to be an inspiration to the younger generation of broadcasters, because a lot of these generation of broadcasters, they think that they can get into the business today and get to the top as soon as possible. But that's not the case. Rome wasn't built in a day. So it is step by step and layer by layer in this job.
Among activities lined up for the celebration was an award presentation to outstanding broadcasters with the head of operation at Lalaye 96.5 FM, Osrc Media Group, Mrs. Bukola Ogunkwa, as one of the recipients. She promised to continue to put in her best in the broadcast industry.
It's a great privilege and honor, and I'd like to thank Adekunle Adewumi Kekewada for this great honor. And in my heart, I promise to do more as a good administrator.
Others at the event also speak on their expectations in the industry.
Everything is going digital, so you just have to buckle up. In the days when we used to have engineer, whatever, these days people combine the three together.
For him to put up something like this today, it's an indication of his dedication to his duties, to his work.
Kaka is very humble, hardworking, and you see, in this life, success is 5%, attitude is 25%. So his attitude will take him to the promised land.
High points of the event includes delivered talks on broadcasting beyond profession, handled by Adeolu Boyega of Crest FM and Aladesomi Oyekomi of Fresh FM, cutting of cake and official launch of Kekewada Foundation.
A broadcaster, it's a paid occupation on one side. Now, on the other side, it involves prolonged training and formal qualification.
Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
It has been years of God's faithfulness for Mrs. Stella Koshemani Kolawole, the first female head of service in Ondo State, as she joins the Septuagenarian Club 70 in grand style. To celebrate this landmark, dignitaries from different walks of life gathered at St. Luke's Anglican Church, Idiagbatuntun in Akure, to rejoice with her. Osrc Saeed Arabisala reports that Mrs. Koshemani Kolawole, the only child of her parents, was described as a destiny child and a philanthropist who touched the lives of many positively.
Born on July 20, 1953, as the only child of our parents who waited 14 years before our arrival, Chief Mrs. Stella Koshemani Kolawole enters the Septuagenarian Club in grand style. A filled-to-capacity St. Luke's Anglican Church, Idiagbatuntun in Akure, was the venue for the celebration, as Mrs. Koshemani Kolawole, the first female head of service in Ondo State, returned praises to God over her life journey. Right Reverend Bola Downsi, who delivered the birthday celebration sermon, warns humans to use such occasions to rejoice, reflect, and resolve to serve God more. Top government functionaries, family and friends from far and wide registered their presence, describing the celebrant as a philanthropist who is worthy of emulation.
She's celebrating her 78th birthday, and we thank God for the impact she has made in her family, in the public service, and the impact she's still making. We just pray. I'm praying that God will preserve her life, grant her good health to be able to contribute more to the society. She was the first female head of service, and up to now we've not had any other female head of service. So it's to show clearly that she was actually a shining star.
She has been a wonderful friend. She has been a faithful sister. When we were in school, she used to lead us. So I'm not surprised for all her achievements. She has been like that all the way when we were in the secondary school. Good athlete, very nice in all ways.
Marry empowerment, a real empowerment for that matter. Machine were given, generators were given. It is great. If other philanthropists can be doing this, the states will have more progress than ever.
Traditional rulers from different towns in Ondo State and the Archbishop of Anglican Diocese of Ondo commended Mrs. Koshemani Kolawole for her unwavering commitment to community development.
You know that she floated a non-government organization which she has been assisting the less privileged. So I will want to appeal to those who are in position to assist, especially the poor in the community, to do so.
She's a real woman leader. She has been supportive. Akure speaking communities, she has always been very active there, and I know that
there was a special birthday presentation from students of Iwashai Girls Grammar School, Akure, and the school alumni, where Mrs. Koshemani Kolawole attended from 1967 to 1971. Reflecting on her life's journey, Mrs. Stella Koshemani Kolawole expressed gratitude to God with a pledge to do more for humanity.
I have passed through a lot of travails, a lot of challenges, but my belief is that the Alpha and the Omega is He has made me a conqueror already. My resolve is to continue. I have given my life totally to Him. I have put my life into His hands.
70 years of making impact, wearing many hats in different spheres of human endeavor. The prayers for Mrs. Stella Koshemani Kolawole, a former chairman, Ondo State Microcredit Agency, is for many years of celebration. Sahida Ripisola, Osrc News.
On the foreign scene, Spain's far-right Vox party looks set to continue its meteoric rise in today's general election, and it aims to use its growing influence through its leader, Santiago Abascal. The party, which only formed a decade ago, may become a political kingmaker and a member of Spain's next coalition government following the vote. Akintunde Akinshomola has more.
Santiago Abascal, leader of Spain's Vox party, is on the far right, but he may move center stage as Spain's kingmaker. No clear leader emerged in the last polls before Spain's election. They show the conservative opposition People's Party, or PP, beating socialist incumbent Pedro Sanchez, but needing to unite with anti-immigration, anti-feminist Vox to gain a majority. That will hand the far right a role in government for the first time since the end of Francisco Franco's dictatorship in 1975. So who is Santiago Abascal?
The real Spain is alive. It has awoken. Thank God.
Abascal started out as a PP lawmaker but fell out with it, partly over its handling of the ETA Basque militant group and other separatist challenges. Santi, as his nickname, is from the Basque region and founded Vox to campaign for abolishing regional autonomy and parliament. They struck a chord with many Spaniards after a failed bid for independence by Catalonia in 2017. This was Vox celebrating winning its first 12 seats in Andalusia's regional election in 2018. In 9 years, Abascal has turned his fringe party into Spain's third largest electoral force. So what about the other policies?
Our neighborhoods are degrading as a result of illegal immigration and drug trafficking. I believe it. And the people who live in that neighborhood and who are listening to us believe it too.
Vox is on the far right, vowing to return Spaniards the things that really matter. On a nationalist, anti-feminist, Eurosceptic, socially conservative and economic liberal manifesto.
We are facing a real invasion of our national territory.
Vox want to expel illegal immigrants and use a naval blockade to stop them arriving in Spain. Though it says it supports immigration that meets the needs of the labor market or by those who share Spain's language or culture. It has vowed to repeal progressive laws of transgender rights, abortion and animal rights and wants to roll back climate protection promoted by Sanchez. Vox also says it will lower income tax, crack down on corruption, cut public spending and increase tax breaks for larger families. Is Vox certain to gain power?
My wish is that they join forces because I really like Vox's ideas. I was educated in a school run by nuns. My father was very Catholic and I can't cope with abortion. I handle that the worst.
Vox doubled its vote in May local elections, but some analysts say it has exhausted its natural pool of voters and the share of seats could actually shrink.
We would go back 50, 60 years to a time when a dictator was here, giving orders and doing what he pleased. That can't be.
The PP has struck coalition deals with Vox in dozens of regions and municipalities since May's local elections, but they have denied the popularity of the PP and its leader, Alberto Núñez Feijóo, and coalition talks could prove tough. Whatever happens, Vox has fast become a fixture of Spanish politics. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
And with that, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that the Ondo State government has procured state-of-the-art firefighting equipment to combat outbreaks of fire in the state. Apomlono farmers in Idori Cancer area have alleged the DG of Akure or Baladitoyinbo Aladelusi of grabbing their land. Bauchi State government has dismissed 6 traditional rulers for partisan politics and suspected excessive misbehavior. And from the foreign scene, we told you the Spanish voters have added to the ballot boxes in a general election that could see a far-right party enter government for the first time in decades. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.